and we're going to get started here. Just about 30 seconds. I just want to give some other people a chance to pop in that knew I was going to be taking you through a compensation plan tonight. So I know this is kind of, I know you just kind of want to come here and you want to listen tonight, but I'm going to make you do a little bit of an exercise because I want to show you something really potent and powerful that I've been using since 1989 in the form of a compensation plan that financially compensates people. And I had a single mom, but she was a superstar anyhow. She was a single mom technically, but she was a superstar marketer. And she made about $4.2 million working with me back in 2001, 2006, and another program that I owned. And some other people did really well too. Russell Brunson, you might have heard of the name Russell Brunson. He went out on the internet and rocked it out, but he was I was his first mentor. All right, so we're going to get started right now. I got a little bit of a tickle in my throat, so please forgive me for that. I want to talk to you all about the online world. I want to talk about making money. Sometimes I get a little bit philosophical when I do these presentations. Forgive me for that if you're bored with the philosophical side of things, but it's really important that you understand what I'm going to tell you right now, and we're on a recorded call. This is being recorded, by the way, but what I am going to tell you right now is that most of the stuff that you're going to learn on the internet is a bunch of crap. You probably didn't expect to hear that, okay? A lot of the stuff that's out there on the internet is a bunch of crap, but I'm not talking about business opportunities. I'm basically talking about a lot of the training that's out there on the internet is not going to get you to where it is you want to go. Now, automation is great, but you know what? If you don't have people skills, if you don't develop the most powerful tool in the universe, the most powerful tool to make money on the internet is you. That's got to come first. And if you don't believe that, you're not going to make money through automation. So you got to fine tune yourself first. If you take a look at anyone that's making money through automation, friends of mine, you might know Todd Falcone, Ray Higdon, Diane Hochman, you know, Russell Brunson, Anthony Robbins, you might know those people. They're all using technology. But the other part of the equation is they're all superstars in the industry. Their names are synonymous with fame and fortune. And they've got their own clientele. They've got their own following. They're like rock stars. So the ones that do really well with automation are rock stars. The average person that just gets drawn into automation usually struggles with it. You can have some fun with it. You can learn some things with it. But I've never mastered automation. I've never really had to. We've built some really big organizations. I've been doing this for 40 years. Really weird saying that, 40 years. I got started in 1979 in multi-level marketing. It's scary saying that. My daughter's like my daughter's 12, and then my other daughter's like going to be 31 here soon. But bottom line is the industry's evolved in a very interesting way, and the old school stuff will never go away. It's always going to be powerful. And as you can tell, I'm sitting here on a video chat with you all tonight. I could have hid behind a computer and did an automated presentation or sent you to an autoresponder and wasted your time like a lot of people do. But I wanted you to come here, qualify the situation, and talk about making money. So what I want to do is, does everyone have audio? You can't hear me, Peter? Okay, so you should be able to hear me. So what I want to do tonight is I want to talk to you about a project that I'm really passionate about for helping people around the world. Like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years. I've graduated from nitwit marketer to network marketer to corporate executive to running my own companies. I had great success in one company that I wrote, that I basically created and wrote the content for. It was Mentors in Motion, did $91 million in sales working from my house. 91 million. That wasn't 91 million in my pocket. That was $91 million in gross retail sales. And my resellers out there on the internet basically got to keep about 80% of that, which was pretty exciting. But we still did well. My kids are set for life. I'm doing okay. Life is good. Don't have to worry about, you know, all the other things that the average person would have to worry about in the game of life. But I used to teach a course called the Dead Sea Scrolls to Marketing, kind of entwine that with Mentors in Motion. And now I'm watching people, and here we are in 2018 going into 2019. Now I'm watching people hitting the brakes in the online world. People are starting to realize that a lot of these get-rich-quick schemes or a lot of these automated systems don't work or not working, and that there's more to it. You know, the great manipulators of the internet basically told you that what you could do is you could use technology, then you could stay in bed and be brain dead, and you could have this automated system that would generate money into your PayPal account. So when you woke up in the morning, you'd be like financially independent. totally associated to a bunch of lies. All right. I call those type of people parasites. No offense. I'll tell them that to their face that they're parasites, because they are parasites. They feed off people, lie to people, and steal their money and don't really care about you as a human being. They don't care that you have a mortgage to pay. They don't care that you have a rent to pay. So the best advice, people always ask me for advice. They said, Val, what's the best advice you could possibly give somebody about marketing in the online world? Somebody that wanted to be financially independent. The best advice I could give you is become a student of the industry and become so damn good at it that you don't need anybody else. And I got myself to that position where I'm probably better than most marketers, not in the online technology world, but my communication skills are probably far superior to theirs, even on stage. My techniques, my understanding of this industry is probably far superior to theirs. And, you know, it's really interesting because when people pitch me on a deal, if they don't know who I am, then I kind of play around with them like an orca whale playing with a seal. I just play with people. And you want to be so good. You want to be like a Bruce Lee. Sorry about the phone there. You want to be a Bruce Lee in this industry that you can pretty much be self-sufficient. And if you don't allow yourself to become self-sufficient, if you always need an upline, you're going to have a very difficult time in this industry. All right, you'll never really make money. So you want to become so good. You want to become a technician in this industry so you can execute a game plan so that, you know, for some of us, I like being smarter than most company owners. Tracy's smarter than most company owners. They need us. We don't need them. And that's a really good position when company owners are offering you a job. And I'm not talking about an $80,000 a year job. Like they'll give you profit sharing and everything. So, you know, Tracy's in that situation right now where there's a company courting her right now, but they're going to have to pay out a lot of money just to get her attention long term because she's got her own projects online. So they better make it financially worth her while so she can retire and be set for life, you know, in just a couple of years. So the whole point being is, what do you want to do with your online world experience? Do you just want to join these programs? Do you just want to become addicted? Do you just want to chase money and you know, buy into the hype, smoke and mirrors and grand illusions? Hopefully not. So, you know, as I'm on this call tonight, I hope to be kind of like a Yoda to you. Like, and I joke when I say that, you know, some people call me Yoda. They like the old wisdom man here on the call, right? Because I'm not into the, I just want to share this with you. I don't believe in the power of positive thinking. I don't believe in goal setting. I have no time for motivational seminars. I think they're the biggest bloody waste of time, biggest waste of money. I'm not interested in going down to Vegas and watching a bunch of entertainers on stage talk about empowering people. It's a joke. And as fast as you get rid of all that trash from your life, and I have no problem calling it trash, the entertainment value is good, but when you realize that it doesn't do anything for you, it's just like, you know, it's like a narcotic, you know, you take a hit, you catch a buzz, and boom, it's gone, you know, about 9-10 hours later, depending on what type of substance you're using, 2-3 hours later, depending on what type of substance you're using. I had my massage therapist. He's a guy, 22 years old. 23 years old, I believe at the time. He went down to Vegas. He went to a weekend event in Vegas where Richard Branson was speaking, Anthony Robbins was speaking, a whole bunch of former MLM now consultants are speaking. And I said to him, you know, I said, what did you get out of that major event, going down and spending, you know, money and you know, being at one of the, you know, prominent shows in Vegas for network marketers and affiliate marketers? He said what he got out of it was a $4,400 credit card bill. He really didn't enjoy. He had a great time while he was there, but he came back and he realized that it wasn't something that he could benefit from. There is far more to it. And that's the problem with people that become addicted to books, tapes, videos, audios. They'll screw you up more than they'll do you any good. And when I got rid of all that stuff, I went from the basement to the penthouse. When I was a student of all the motivational stuff and worshiped all these gods that were, you know, writing books and authors and on TV shows and on stage, I was broke. And then when I got rid of that silly stuff, I basically, you know, I did over $1.7 billion in sales and network marketing when I realized it wasn't about all that silly stuff. It was about defining who I was, allowing myself to become, you know, independent of needing motivational books and tapes. You see, people don't need motivation. None of you need motivation. There's only one thing you need: confidence. If you have the confidence, you can do anything. You know what I mean? Motivation. What does motivation mean? You can be motivated to jump over, you know, over a fire pit or something like that. But you got to have the confidence to really achieve it. It's not the motivation you need. Anyone can be motivated. It's the confidence. All right. You can be motivated to walk on ice water. It's the confidence you need to actually do. Without the confidence, you're done. You know what I mean? And I don't need motivation to speak on a camera. I need the confidence to be here speaking before you. So now I'm not going to waste your time on that. I could sit there and talk to you about that all day and give you a 3-hour workshop on the self. But I'm really into the spiritual side of things. The spiritual side of marketing is so important. Man-made stuff, when you get a little bit older, like I'm 55 now, and when I was younger, I was full of piss and vinegar, and I used to love that stuff. But now when you get a little bit older, your brain shifts. At least I don't know if everybody does it, but I know my thoughts have shifted. I don't think the same way I did 10 years ago. Hopefully I'm a little bit wiser, and I realize the spiritual side of marketing, understanding the universal spiritual principles, are far, far more effective, and you can't cheat them. Universal spiritual law, you can't cheat. There's a law of gravity. If you walk off a 30-story building, what's going to happen? All the goal setting, all the power of positive thinking is not going to save your butt. You're going to hit the ground whether you like it or not. So don't waste your time in that world. Start focusing on yourself. Become a little bit selfish. That's right. I said become a little bit selfish and focus on yourself. And when you do that and you start defining yourself and start figuring yourself out and start realizing you have an unbelievable skill set, you're going to shine. And I used to be a very shy, scared, introverted person, used to suffer anxiety attacks, used to throw up all the time. To go on a conference call, never mind being on video, just to get on a conference call and say, hi, my name's Val Smith, 45 minutes in the bathroom puking before I could do that. I used to have an anxiety attack knowing there was 400 people on a conference call. And it wasn't that there was something, it wasn't that I was being stupid. It was just my brain and my body was just going through an anxiety attack that I couldn't control. And then when I got comfortable with who I am and what I was all about and being able to live in my skin, I became very good at what I do, and I believe every single one of you on this line have that same capability. So what are we doing here tonight? You were invited to this call tonight by somebody that wanted you to witness or experience something on this call. Okay, you were invited because you probably were seeking certain information. And so what I got to do on tonight's call is I've got to deliver. So I'm under a lot of pressure tonight, which I totally love because I'm under no pressure at all. I thrive off this. Where I used to be scared of this, I live for this. I could do this. This could be I could do this 10 hours a day, sit here on a Zoom call and teach people stuff that they will never learn on the internet. Okay, I'm going to do some cool stuff for you tonight. I just got to make sure I have my myself set up here. I'm gonna set up the website here. Share, boom. All right, you can see that, right? All right, so one of my students, Russell Brunson, he owns ClickFunnels on the internet. He's got a massive following. I don't know, Russell probably earns a few million a year. And I kind of stole one of his ideas. It's good when the teacher can learn from the student. I think that's like totally awesome. So this is a company website, believe it or not, Legends VIP Network. Now, what's different about this website that's unique, normally if I were to show you a website, you would see a business opportunity being pitched to you. You would read about a product, and you would also see a price tag on there that, hey, I want to sell you something. But check this out. Look at the reverse psychology here. I'm teaching you something right now that very few marketers they don't even figure this stuff out. So we're using the word free. Why are we using the word free? There's a whole psychology here because people love free stuff. They'll stay and look at things that are free, but once you put a price tag on here, hasta la vista, baby, they want no part of it because their subconscious mind is their firewall. You know what a firewall is? It doesn't let things in. So the subconscious mind loves you more than anything in the world. And I'm going to teach you something about money tonight that you've never heard of in your life. I don't think you have, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident that that statement's true. You start throwing money around, telling people how much businesses cost online, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose your clients. You're going to lose your prospects. So when somebody says to you, how much does it cost? So if you tell them it's $100 and $50 a month auto ship, boom, they're gone most of the time. If you tell them it's like $50, boom, they're gone. And it's not that they can't afford it, even though they tell you they don't have any money, they can't afford it. There's no such thing as I can't afford it. The universe is abundant, and if you really want the money, it's there. If I were to give you my $388,000 Ferrari, and there's only 11 of them in the world, if I told you you could have that for $500, you would find a way to come up with the $500 to do this, all right? So now watch what we do in the website here. Okay, free. Which one do you want? Sign up for this free introductory masterclass. I'll give you one of my favorite closing techniques for free. Which technique would you like to learn free? Learn how to close anyone in the world in 45 seconds or less 100% of the time to evaluate anything you want them to look at. Would you like to learn how to overcome objections? No money. You know when somebody says, yeah, I have no money? No, I love it when somebody says, hey, Val, I checked out your business opportunity. I have no money. Great. 90% of the people that are on my team right now didn't have money either. Let me show you how we can do this. So there's no such thing as I don't have money because I can show people where to get the money. Can't play that game with me. I'm just, I just know too much information. Or would you like to have all this information for free? All right. So what I want to do tonight is I want to demonstrate to you a couple things, the psychology of marketing. Here's the thing that you need to know. If you can understand what I'm going to say right now, you can become a millionaire, and that's not hype. That's not smoke and mirrors. Many of my students did this. If you can assimilate, internalize, and manifest and become a part of what I'm going to say right now, you can destroy a lot of people on the internet and as far as income. But you got to become really good at what I'm going to say right now. You know what marketing is? I do this to company owners because company owners like to offer me like crazy money to come into their business. They want me to be their prostitute, and they want to be my pimp. So they'll offer $500,000, $250,000 just to come in because they want me to be a hooker. And what I'm supposed to do is go out there on the internet and get all these Johns and bring everybody to recruit them back into the business and make everybody rich. So they want me to be but I'm not a hooker actually, so I'm not going to do that. And I'm making you smile a little bit, but you know what? That's the real deal. When you hear of somebody leaving a company because a company owner is paying somebody $5 million, the company owner's a pimp, and that person's the bitch. Okay, and I have no problem saying that. And I know everything and anything you need to know about this industry. I can tell you what goes on behind closed doors. I can tell you who's sleeping with who. I can tell you what company owners are cheating on their wives. I can tell you everything because I'm an insider. Okay, so anyhow, this is why it's good that you're on tonight's call because you're not going to hear a conference call like this anywhere else in the world. So anyhow, let's talk about techniques. Here's what I wanted to tell you. This is what you want to internalize. Marketing is, okay, you ready for this? Marketing is the art and science of empowering, communicating, and developing a relationship with another human being based on their needs and not mine or yours as promoters. And if you can do that, like I've done it, you'll have put 2 million people in your downline like I did. I've had over 2 million people in my downline. Biggest organization I ever built. And I know it sounds like I'm talking about myself, but I don't mean to. I just want you to know some of the statistics. Tracy and I put over 487,000 people in one company in 11 weeks. Not personally sponsored, but in our downline, and I teach people how to do crazy numbers. Almost 500,000 people. So how do you do these things? Well, we're going to talk about some of it tonight, but not all of it. So let's talk about the 45-second close. If I contacted you on Facebook and I said to you, this to you, hey, I've got this great business opportunity online. Can I send you my link and have you check it out? Or if I said something to you like some of these sneaky people do, here's a sneaky person on the internet. Hey, Val, I really respect your opinion. You've been in this industry for 40 years. You've shattered a lot of records in sales and marketing. I really value your opinion. Can you check out my website and tell me what you think of this company? Go take a hike, go to the vet and get a needle. I don't have time for that, honestly. People have learned terrible manners, terrible behavioralisms, if that's such a word. It's just, it's terrible what people have been taught to do in the online world. So you want to get someone to say, yeah? Just ask them a simple question. Here, I'll do it on tonight's call here. Let me just see who we got cruising on there. Hey, Sed, come off the mute for a sec. I just want to ask you a question. Do you have a cell phone?
Got one right here.
Hey, man, so your cell phone's black, eh?
Yeah.
Wait, how much does it cost you per month to run that cell phone?
Too much? No, about $80.
About $80. Okay, so that's a little bit of a financial liability in your life. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to be very honest with me. That black cell phone that you have in your left hand right now, if I could show you a way to turn that cell phone, he's got the other phone ringing, if I could show you a way to turn that cell phone into an extra $3,400 a month, $3,400 a month, no ifs, ands, buts about it, would you give me about 15, 20 minutes of your time and I need nothing else from you?
Absolutely.
Okay, man, we need to talk. So my whole point being there is I designed a question that would get him to say yes. Did I talk to him about a biz op? Did I talk to him about, hey, man, it's going to cost you $100? No. I told him, I said, can I show, or I asked him if I could show him a way to take that cell phone that's costing him money right now and turn that into $3,400 a month, and I need nothing else from him. All I want is 15 minutes of his time. And so what you're doing is you're inviting. See, here's the formula. You've got to invite, and then you've got to expose, and then it's the close. So it's invite, expose, close. That's the formula. And if you don't have that formula in your blueprint in your health and nutritional companies or anything you're doing, you're done. Does anyone here have an internet connection in their house? Awesome. So you do have an internet connection in your house. Question for you. If I could show you a way to take that internet connection that's coming out of your wall and going into your laptop or your desktop right now, would you give me 15 minutes of your time if I could show you how to turn that into an extra $900 a month? I need nothing else from you. No money or nothing. Awesome. So you're all going to say yes. So these are the questions that we should be asking people out there when you're in conversation. I'm always listening. I listen to people. Guy's really pissed off that he has a car payment. Somebody's pissed off that they have a rent or a mortgage. I just say, hey, look, you know, I overheard you talking about your mortgage. It sounds like you're pretty tight this month. Christmas is around the corner. If I could show you a way to pay your mortgage every single month without using your 9-to-5 income to do that, would you give me 20 minutes of your time? I need nothing else from you. Guy says, yeah, man, if you can take my pain away, I'll listen to anything you have to say. How much money is it going to cost me? Nothing. You're just going to listen. So this is what we should be doing with people on the internet. You don't have to go out and buy traffic. You don't have to go out and generate leads. You know how many friends are on your Facebook page right now that have a rent, a mortgage, a cell phone, an internet connection? They're all there. They're sitting for you. They're sitting there for you. All you need is 5 of them and you can become wealthy. 10 of them at tops. You can be financially independent. In a real business opportunity, you only need 5. A friend of mine, Shane Moran. Let me tell you about a friend of mine and Tracy's. Shane Moran. He's in the coffee industry, MLM coffee industry. Do you have any idea what it's like to make almost $18, $19 million a year? His next door neighbor, I was at his house and Tracy was down in Los Angeles with him. His next door neighbor in Canada just sold his house for $65 million. Guess who bought the house? Elton John. You might have heard of Elton John out of England. He married a Canadian guy. So he bought him the most expensive house in Canada. Shane Moran's next door neighbor. So there's money to be made. And you know what the funny thing is? Shane doesn't use the internet. He uses the internet to say hi and here's my picture. He doesn't do any digital marketing. But he's good at just touching base with people and asking them questions. He'll ask me a question. Val, hey, yeah, how you doing? I'm doing great. So would you have any objections to making $2-3 million a year marketing coffee? No, not really. But I'm not in his company now. Like I'm just telling you. But you know, he just talks normal with people. You know, and so the bottom line is it's all about communication and what you say to people, and design your questions so people will say yes. Here's another one: overcoming objections. People have a hard time overcoming objections. You know what? Here's one that cripples people online. And when I say cripple, I don't mean physically crippled people. I mean mentally crippled people online, okay? I just want to separate the two. So here's what happens. You introduce somebody to a business opportunity, and you know what they're going to say to you? Do it to me. You pitch me on your business opportunity. You know what the first thing I'm going to say to you? I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to take you out at the knees. I'm going to do everything in my power to shut you down. But you know what? When you become really good like I am here, nobody can ever take you down. So I'm going to show you self-defense here. Somebody's going to say, so, hey, Peter, how much money are you making? They always do that to you, man. They're always going to say, how much money are you making? And then you know what the experts on the internet teach you what to do? They say, do this. Or get your upline and do this. Well, you know what? I'm kind of brand new at the business opportunity. I'm just getting started right now. I haven't made any money yet, but I'm going to be making money soon because I'm new at it. But I got this upline. They're really cool. They're making making over $10,000 a month. And you know what? It's really not about me. It's about you coming into the business and doing really well, and we can work together in friendship and spirit. That is one of the most stupidest answers I've ever heard in my life. I mean, how pathetic is that, right? But yet the gods of the internet teach you how to say that. And I scratch my head every day and I say, dear God, am I a freak of nature? Is there something wrong with my DNA? Or am I stupid? Or somebody's got to be stupid, and I don't think it's me. And I'm saying that in a fun-loving way. I don't mean to call anyone stupid, but I just joke around here. Don't take me too harsh. So I'm going to give you the best answer in the world. When somebody tries to do this, I'll teach you how to be Bruce Lee. Okay? You're going to own them. You're going to own them. They're going to be kissing your feet by the time you get through them. Okay? So Val, yeah. You know that program you just got started in? Oh, yeah, I know that program I just got started in. How much money are you making? You know what? That's a fabulous question. I'd love to sit here and brag to you right now, but that's a compliance question. If I were to sit here and start giving you income claims, tomorrow morning, legally by law, I could be removed from the company, lose my entire organization, and all the money that I'm making now and in the future. Let's not have that conversation right now. It's against the law in North America to give income claims. It's not my law. That's just the way it is. So why aren't people telling the truth? The truth is, you shouldn't answer that question. And people that are posting, oh, I made $42,782 in the last 2 weeks, they're a part of renegade companies that have no morals, values, ethics. They're just parasitic people. No offense, but you don't do that. This is a professional industry. Tell the truth. And legally by law, you can be charged for using enticement, financial enticement to manipulate somebody into a business. So teach your new people to say, you know what, that's a great question, and I'd love to brag to you tonight, but you know what, really, that's a compliance question. And if I were to get into that conversation and you're recording this or you turn me into the company, tomorrow morning I lose everything legally by law. I have to spend money on legal fees to defend myself to keep my position. And I'm not willing to do that. So please understand. And when you do that, people will respect you. The attorney generals worship the ground you walk on. The MLM attorneys in this industry think you are trained by God. You know, they love that answer because it's a Fortune 500 executive answer that you would use before Congress in a court of law. Judge asks you, well, how much money did you make? Your Honor, I just can't answer that question. Policies and procedures will not allow me to do that. And I know that kind of some of you probably, don't want to hear that, but you know what? You do that to people like I do that to people, and they love you. They say like this, who trained this person? And that way you're not defending yourself, and you don't have to tell people,
well, I'm just kind of new in this business right now, and I just got started on Wednesday, and I'm really not making any money yet.
Do you think people really want to work with somebody that's not making any money? You have no influence. You are not an influencer in the presentation. They'll go sign up with your upline. Go do a 3-way call. Your upline will cherry pick and steal your people because you can't get them. So you learn how to play the game. So really what I'm saying to you is I'm teaching you how to become a chess master so you can checkmate people. Here's another one. Here's another one. No money. Hey, Val, I went on your call tonight. It was absolutely amazing. But guess what? My wife and I, we just got married. We got a kid on the way, and we got a mortgage. Sounds great and everything. I'd really love to get involved in your business. But the timing's just not right for us right now. We're really financially strapped. And I go like this, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for bringing this person into my life. Give me 1,000 more of these people, and I'll be filthy rich by the end of next year. I love these people, honestly. I love people that tell me they don't have money because you know why, Trace? Let them have it. Tracy's there. She's going to show you something. I say, no problem. You don't have any money? 90% of the people, okay, no problem. I have 3,782 people in my downline. Out of the 3,782, 90% of them didn't have any money, and now they're working with me. Let me show you how we do that. Tracy's putting a link in there. When somebody doesn't tell you they have any money, show them that link. It's in the chat. You can get financing. You can get financing for people on your team and people that are going to be soon on your team. Money will never be an obstacle. Out of 10 people that apply for it, usually 6 get approved. We have people joining this business here right now that I'm talking about tonight, and they go through that too. And it's not expensive to be here tonight, just so you know. It's free right now. And if you decide you want me to teach you all the real walk on water stuff, You want me to teach you all the Jesus stuff, and I say that in a fun, loving way? You got to subscribe to get that. I'm not going to give you all my good stuff. But anyhow, here, I'll give you one more thing for free. Okay? Check this out. Are you ready for this? This is really cool. Hey, Val, you know that business you're building? Yes. How much does it cost to get started? If I wanted to build a business with you, get involved in your company, how much would it cost me to get started? You know what an untrained person would say? Here's what an untrained person would say, and it's not your fault if you do this. You've just been trained by the wrong people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay? An untrained person would say this. Well, it's $100 to get started. It's $50 a month auto ship, and it's about $14 a month for shipping and handling. But if you want to buy our platinum package, you can buy it for $499. You're going to get all these packages sent out to you. You're going to get brochures. You're going to get these nice boxes and these starter kits. Man, why would you do that to somebody? That's brutal. They're not going to want it. Nobody, you're telling them, what you're doing, you're saying, I'm taking your firstborn away from you. And they're sitting there, they're thinking in their head like you're trying to separate them from money. They're thinking you're trying to separate them from money. And you are, but at least do it in a better fashion. The best way I handle it, Val, yeah, you know that business you're in? Yes, I do. How much would it cost me to get started? Now, listen to me very carefully here. This is brilliant. If you like what you hear, I use hypnosis on people. If you like what you hear and you like what you see and you want to work directly with me, I can show you how to do this without taking one penny out of your pocket. Is that something you can afford, yes or no? How can they say they can't afford that? Not taking one penny out of their pocket. They have to say yes. And now they go through the exposure. See, if you don't get them to the exposure, you're done. It's game over. If you can't get somebody exposed to any business you're doing, it's game over. It's done. It's history. It's capoodle. So they go to the presentation, they evaluate it, they check it out, and then they come back and say, oh, Susan, I was on that call tonight. Or John, I was on that call tonight. Or Jerry, I was on that call tonight. Or Rhonda, I was on that call tonight. And the guy said it was like $150 to get started. And you told me it was like I had to take no money out of pocket. Well, you know what? For the average person, it's probably $150. But let me show you how I got started so no money ever left my pocket. You know what I did? I put the $150 on a credit card. Why did I put it on a credit card? Because a credit card is a piece of plastic that gives you an invisible line of credit. Okay? It's an invisible line of credit. The credit card company substitutes. It's like when you're going to school. Mom, Dad, can I borrow $20 going to the movie with my friends that are online tonight? You're borrowing from your parents, so no money's ever coming out of your pocket. The credit card company, no money out of pocket. Okay? But now watch this. The credit card company wants nothing from you for at least 28 to 32 days. Zero. Nothing. So you got a line of credit for 28 to 32 days. The person goes through the evaluation. They say, wow, that's great. And now I can put it on my credit card. They can see themselves doing that. It's a solution to their problem. Yeah, I can put it on my credit card. Great. Because you know what? They could start being in profit. They could start being in profit before the credit card company ever sends them an invoice. I've got people here that have made $1,500, $1,600, $2,200 in their first 2-3 days. In our program here tonight, just so you all know, I'll just tell you, it's $147 one time out of pocket. No monthly fee. So if a person had $147 on a credit card or whatever means they wanted, they could have all of this and so much more in the back office that I'm talking about tonight to teach you how to dominate and control everything and anything you do in the online world. You know, you get access to myself and Tracy too. I close all the presentations for you. You don't ever have to explain this. I do. So the whole point being is, you know, it's all about communication. It's all about psychology. It's all about taking their pain away. So what happens in your first 2 weeks if you make $300-400? No money came out of pocket. What happens at the end of 28 days when the credit card company sends you an invoice? You get it out of your mailbox, and then you open up the envelope, and all of a sudden you see dear so-and-so, Susan Lamb, or, John Eady, whoever, right? The whole point being is, how do you pay the credit card company back? Well, if you already made $300 or $800 or $1,400, that's all profit. Just take $147 out of that, keep the rest, and give it to the credit card company. So now you're in the business opportunity. It cost you nothing really out of pocket. In the last 19, 20, 21 years, I can't even remember. I'm getting too old to remember. I haven't paid any money for marketing out of my pocket. I've always put things on my credit card. You know why I do that? Even though, like, my wife and I are very financially set, we live in the big house and everything like that, and nice cars. And the whole point being is, I get air miles on my credit card too. So they don't know that. I'm getting air miles on my credit card too. And if you study rich people, they never take cash out of their pocket, very rarely. They put it on credit cards. They go out for lunch, put it on credit cards, because it's all tax deductions, and they love getting the air miles or the bank points. And they don't like taking money out of their pocket because they're so bloody cheap anyhow. And then they just have their secretary or assistant, male or female, to just, sign the check at the end of the month. Meanwhile, they brought in tons of money before the invoice ever came in. You see what I'm saying? It's all about leverage. It's learning how to take money from one source and never take money from yourself. You know what I mean? It's like Christmas presents this year for my kids, whatever. No money's ever, they're close by, but no money's ever coming out of my pocket. It's all credit card. Boom. All made a ton of money, and just Christmas presents are free. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it, because it's all out of profit. It's crazy when you understand how to play the game, but they're not teaching this online, or at least they're not explaining it to you in detail. So you kind of go, oh yeah, it's all about strategizing and implementing a method of operation that creates leverage. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So anyhow, those are some of the things that we teach in the back office. We have this big back office. And in the back office, you'll see a whole bunch of interviews where I've interviewed Ray Higdon, Todd Falcone, all the big names in the industry, Diane Hockman, a whole bunch of them. There's a bunch of interviews in there where I get behind the scenes and I interview them and ask them how they do it. I also have my own videos in there where I talk about the things that I talked about tonight. And then I'll show you, for any of you that are in MLM, I'll show you how to put 12,000 people in your downline in 12 months. Okay? If Tracy and I put almost 500,000 people in 11 weeks, or, one company I put 61,000 and 62,000 in, 7 weeks. And it wasn't personally sponsored, but we had a whole technique of execution. And I was teaching people just to be appointment setters and let me be the talker. Appointment set, talk, appointment set, talk. I was talking to almost over, 600, 700, 800 people a day. And it only took me an hour and a half to 2 hours to do that. How do you talk to 600, 700, 800 people in a day and do that in 2 hours? I'll show you how all these things are done, and that's in the back office. And I'm not kidding. All right, this is all real stuff. The average person doesn't have a clue what's going on. Average person doesn't have a clue how some people are out there making $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month, $300,000 a month. You have no idea how it's really being done. You might think you do, and it has nothing to do with autoresponders or, all that stuff. There's a lot of interesting things going on behind the scenes. So it's really cool stuff. So anyhow, in a nutshell, we have a business opportunity with that website that I was just showing you there. I'll go back and share that. If any of you would like to subscribe to that, or you might just be happy with some of the things I kind of shared with you tonight. But if you really sit back and you say, you know what, I'm really tired of the BS. I'm tired of the crap. I'm just tired of doing the same thing over and over again online year after year. You're tired of setting goals. Goal setting doesn't work, just so you know. I'll prove it to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that goal setting is one of the worst things that you can teach. I'll never teach my kids to set goals. Goal setting is absolutely beyond pathetic, but I don't expect people that have been trained by average teachers to understand what I just said there. The other thing you're going to learn in this industry, I'm just throwing a few extras in here. If anyone tells you that in order to be successful, you got to duplicate, just laugh and giggle. And they won't even know you're laughing and giggle. I don't want to teach you that. There's a bad word involved in what I was going to tell you. But if I ever say that's nice, if you ever hear me say, oh, well, that's nice, And you'll never hear me say that, but when I say that, I'm being honest with you. I want to teach you stuff. Some of you will be offended by it, but I don't give a damn. When I say that's nice, it means F off. I don't have time for stupidity. So when that's nice, all right? That's nice, because I don't want to swear, so I just say that's nice. It means, you know, because a lot of the stuff, when you've been taught by people that I've been taught by, a lot of the things that are being taught out there on the internet don't make sense to you. You just see them for what they are, garbage. They don't work. You're seeing through the veil. You're just seeing manipulation and deceit and dishonesty, okay? There's nothing better than being able to communicate to another human being. I'll tell you this. When I married my wife, I can tell you this. I didn't propose through an autoresponder. I can tell you she didn't read my newsletter. She didn't read my blog. She didn't get bulk email from me. You know what I mean? It was me talking to her. And there's no better form of communication than two people coming together to communicate. And dating. Imagine dating, online dating through autoresponders, newsletters, blogs, funnels. I get it. Probably there's some freaky people out there on the internet that are into really weird stuff. That they might do that stuff, but I'd rather be on a video chat, get to know somebody. I don't want to see someone's picture. Screw pictures, because I've seen pictures before and it's not the person. You want to be in a video chat, and you want to make sure that the lights are bright, and you don't want them to say, oh, well, I got to, you just can't see me because I have a problem with my camera. If they're playing that game with you, tell them to go to the vet and get a needle. Okay, they're not real. So your business should always be real, and that's something you're going to learn with me. That's just the way I roll. So I'm going to show you how to make money here. We have a compensation plan. The whole program, if you want the entire program, it's $147 one-time, lifetime out of pocket, and we allow you to make $100. Keep $100 on each person that comes into the business. And anybody that comes into your downline, you get to keep the money, the $100. So if you had 10 people in your downline, you make $1,000. If you had 2 people in your downline, you make $200. Whether you know all the people in your downline or not, it's just the way the system works. And I want to show you how this works tonight. This is an affiliate pay plan, and you need a pen and a paper, or you can just sit there and watch me if you want, but I highly recommend you don't do that. What did I do with the pen? I had a pen, so it looks like I'm going with the pencil tonight. Let me just see, sorry. Okay, I'm going to go with the pencil tonight, but I did have a pen, and now it disappeared. Okay, so what I want you to do is I'm going to take some names from tonight's call. Okay, I'm going to take Susan. In order to make money in this business, okay, in order to make money in this business, a lot of it, by the way, I'm not kidding you. So the $147, that's very small compared to the money that you can make here. In order to make money in this business, you must make 2 sales. Find 2 people in the world that would be smart enough to listen to me, come to a presentation like this. I'll do all the talking for you. You don't have to do it. And if they listen and say, hey, I like what this guy has to say, you're going to make some money. If they come to this call and say, well, I really don't care what this guy has to say, it's really stupid stuff, that's okay. They're at a level of consciousness that I don't even want to mentally describe, all right? It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to learn from Bill Gates. I like to learn from Warren Buffett. And when somebody can teach you things that nobody else out there in the industry can teach you, take advantage of it is what I'm saying. So you generate 2 sales. The very first sale you do, you don't make any money on the first sale. So if you bring 2 people to this call tonight and 2 of them say, yeah, I want to come in, or 2 of them this week and 2 of them want to come in, the first one you don't make any money from. All right? It's called a training sale or a qualifying sale. It's a training sale. It's like an apprenticeship. You gotta do your first sale and let it go. You don't worry about it. You just let it go, and that'll go to your sponsor. Now the second sale is when you graduate from a training sale. Now you become a master distributor. So when you make that second sale, you're a master distributor, and only master distributors can make money. So I've got a bunch of you on the line tonight, and thank you all for hanging out here with me. I do appreciate it. But I'm going to use the name Susan, okay? Because Susan's on here tonight. Susan Lamb, she's on here tonight. And there, I'll just show you that. Can you see that? Draw it like that. If you've got a pen and paper, draw it out like that. Okay? Master distributor, Susan Lamb, and I'm just putting Susan. Okay? You're gonna love this, Susan. Trust me, you're gonna love this when I show you. So now Susan goes out and makes her second sale. Susan became a master distributor because she's going out to make a second sale. Let's say she brings in Lori, and Lori's on this call tonight. Okay? So Susan's second sale is Lori. That's what it looks like. Draw it out like that. So now Susan owns this entire downline. It's all hers. Every person that comes in here, whether she knows them or not, there's only one person that can get paid, the master distributor. Who's the master distributor? Susan. Lori's not. Susan is. So all monies go to Susan. So now Lori came in, paid $147. Susan, you make $100. So I'll write that down. Susan makes $100. Okay, I just put 100 there. Susan picks up a $100 commission. And it's instant. You don't wait for a company owner to pay you a commission. Lori will transact that money to you, Susan, or whoever you are on this line. You get paid instant. Now, what's Lori going to do? Lori's excited about Susan making money. So Lori says, man, I got to go out and do my first training sale, which means Lori's not going to make the money on it. So Lori goes out and gets John. John's on the call tonight. Okay? So do you see what's happening here? Lori brings John in. Susan does not know John, but the system, the automated system, tracks John to this line. Who owns this line? Who's the master distributor? Susan. So you're probably thinking when John pays, it goes to Lori, right? No. This is Lori's apprentice sale, her training sale, and that $100 goes up to Susan. Susan gets a bonus of $100. Doesn't even know who John is, but she soon will find out. Whoever owns the pay line gets paid. So now Lori just brought her first person in. She's free to slide out. John will move up if you want to do it that way. Lori can go out and start her second person now, and now she gets to keep the money from her second person because Lori becomes the master distributor over here. So now what is John going to do? John's going to go out and bring in Tracy. Okay, I'm just writing it down. You write it down in a pen. This is your universal spiritual energy. Okay, so John, there's Susan. Susan doesn't even know John really, and definitely doesn't know Tracy. John does his first training sale. Tracy, does John get the money? No, it's his apprenticeship sale. So that money goes all the way up to Susan. She makes another $100. And she could be at work. She could be at home. She could be cutting the grass. But she has to get paid that $100 because she owns this pay line or downline. Okay, and it's just a direct retail transaction. There's no levels paid in between. It's just a direct retail transaction legally by law with Susan and Tracy. So Tracy goes out now and gets Sed. Sed's on the line tonight. Guess what happens? Tracy does her first sale, apprenticeship sale. Sed comes in. That's a conversation between Tracy and Sed. Susan doesn't even know Sed. Sed pays $147, and the $100 goes all the way up to Susan. She makes another $100 because everyone's got to do their apprentice. First sale is an apprentice sale, and the apprentice sales all happen to be taking place here. I'll do one more. This goes all the way to infinity. It never stops. It doesn't have to stop. Sed goes out and brings in Mello. Mello's on here tonight. So I'll put Mello in there. Sed goes out and does his first apprentice sale. Sed does his first qualifying sale. Falls into Susan's organization. Mello comes in, pays $147. You think Sed's getting the money? You think Tracy's getting the money? You think John's getting the money? You think any of these people are getting? No. That $100 commission goes to the owner of the pay line. The master distributor is Susan. Susan could be making a salad at her kitchen table right now, and boom, she gets paid another $100 because that's just the way the system works. So Susan only knew one person here, made $100, but then that domino effect. Lori knew John, John knew Tracy, Tracy knew Sed, Sed knew Mello knew whoever, and it just keeps going all the way down to infinity. And every person that comes in this pay line, all the money goes up to Susan. So if there's 1,000 people in the downline here, Susan makes $100,000. If there's 500 people in the downline here, Susan makes $50,000. If there's 100 people this goes down to, Susan makes $10,000, and she only knew one. No monthly fees, no annual fees. Now, what happens if Susan brings in a second person? I'll just show you this. What happens if Susan brings in Mike? She might know might know another person. So Susan brings in Mike. So it just replicates this all over again. Susan brings in Mike, makes $100 on Mike. What happens if Mike brings in Dave? Dave brings in Bob. Bob brings in Nancy. Nancy brings in Carol. Carol brings in Joanne. All that money goes right to Susan. She's starting new pay lines, and she can start another pay line here, and start another pay line here. She can start as many pay lines as she wants. She could have 100 people here and have 100 pay lines paying her $100 bills. She could have another 15 or 3 or 4 on this side, all $100 bills to infinity. You can understand why a young lady out of Oregon, single mom with 2 kids, made $4.2 million with me in Mentors in Motion. In about $4.2 million. Okay? Because they get paid to infinity. And in that program, they were making $400, not $100. $400 for every sale. Okay? It's unbelievable. And so you've got a compensation plan that destroys any multi-level marketing compensation plan. It pays $100 for every person in your organization. And then you've got a training platform with videos and audios, and there's an unbelievable course in the back office that'll rock your world. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll show it to you. I just don't want to sit here and say, hey, we got all this stuff. We're going to show you. So Tracy, if you want to set that up, if you don't mind, I'll give you a couple seconds here to do that. You'll have access to an unbelievable training platform that every marketer in the world should want. Are they necessarily going to take it? No, because not every marketer in the world wants to be successful. And that's a true statement. There's a lot of people, there's millions of people on the internet that are subconsciously programmed to be unsuccessful, to struggle, to be broke, and not make money joining all these businesses. So what you're looking at here right now is the back office. We're showing you the back office because when you pay $147 and you sign in, this is what you're going to get. A digital back office, educational back office that teaches you everything that I talked about tonight, and yet so much more. So you can become a 9th degree black belt in the art and science of building a business, and you don't have to be like those people on the internet that hope and pray that one day they're going to make money online and keep failing at all these different things. You know? Go ahead, Trace. You can kick in.
Okay, I was just going to keep moving the slides for you and let you talk. There's so much information here for so many reasons, all the things that you need and more. Subconscious selling, I can absolutely highly recommend that you do read through that. There's just a wealth of information in a book that a friend of ours actually produced. How to get leads, Facebook leads here, really just how to communicate. Incredible, great information here. A lot of just stuff that can help you, some fun things. Just go through the information here. I'm not going to go through it one by one for you. I really recommend that you go back through there and go through the resources yourself. These ones here, of course, from our own Val Smith, interviews that he did with some very, very notable people that you will know from the industry. And it's information that's so valuable because it's not the canned stuff that you get from presentations, you hear from people on stage. This is the stuff that really is valuable to really understand that we all are the same. We all went through all the trials and tribulations to get where we had to go. The difference is the time frame that these people have already done a lot of things that maybe you're trying right now. Maybe you're new to the industry, maybe you're not new to the industry, but there's a lot of things in here that you can adopt, you can listen to, and you go, I get it, and really utilize. I mean, there's even some in here One of them, even Jeff Mills, he'll take you absolutely step by step through a process that you can take a pen and paper out and actually write down the steps that he did to create himself millions of dollars. So I highly recommend it. Just going through them one at a time, and it's a buffet. Take out what's good for you and maybe not what's good for you. Go back and listen the second time. You'll hear different things the second time. I listen to them all repeatedly, and I know Bill, you have too, and it's just stuff that you really need. Melanie Militics, this lady here is in the top 1% of the people on LinkedIn. This lady rocks it out. Her information is absolutely brilliant. And it's about communicating with people, connecting with people. And that really is the secret. If you want to learn how to crack the code of network marketing, it's about learning how to communicate with people. And that's why Val has been so successful, because he's an incredible and a great communicator, as you know, and you listen to him on all these presentations. Of course, we have the Napoleon Hill series, tried and true. Highly recommend that you go back and listen to it. If you've listened to it again and again and again, you're going to hear things through it that maybe you missed the first time. It'll make sense to you a second time, or a third time, or a fourth time. You can't go wrong with it. This one, I always let Val talk about this, because this was transformational for not only him, but so many people. Val, just give your blurb on this one.
Yeah, this was the turning point for me in my life. This is, if you've ever heard of the book The Secret or the movie The Secret, Rhonda Byrne created that book. It would never have happened if it wasn't for this course. In 1994, this course came out of Toronto, Canada, on 8 audio cassette tapes and an instruction manual. If you want to understand principles that are unbelievable, I'll tell you how powerful this course is. I'll give you a visualization. I want you to think about World War I or even World War II. You probably weren't there, but World War I and World War II were real live events. If you were to go back to World War I or World War II in a time machine, but you went back with today's technology, stealth airplanes, the missiles we have, nuclear weapons we have today, the people that have gone through this course, like Oprah Winfrey, the Bill Gateses, the Steve Jobs, the billionaires in Silicon Valley, this is a course that was never to be put in any high school, college, university, anywhere in the world. This was a course that was designed for the ultra wealthy, and it is unbelievable. It will help you to understand every event that ever happened to you in your life. And those of us that know this stuff dominate and control in whatever businesses we're doing. And it's not just about business. You don't even have to be the best looking person in the world, but you can be really good at dating. I'm having fun when I say that, but there's a time that I'd be scared and shy to initiate conversation, but I could probably pick and choose. You don't have to be the best person in the world, but you could literally get a really good date knowing this information. You can get a raise with your job at work knowing this information. You can have better communication with your kids knowing this information. How powerful is this information? Like I said, going back to World War I, World War II, the war would be over in about a half an hour, because you'd have the modern day technology in 2018 and going back and just tearing apart, 1944 or 2018. They wouldn't stand a chance to defend themselves. When you know this information in sales and marketing, you don't go to seminars anymore unless you want to go there to meet people and have fun and smile and hang out. You're not going there for information because there's nothing for you to really learn there. When you know this information, I'm going to talk about sales right now. You can close somebody 24 hours before you meet them. Strange, hey? You can literally close somebody 24 hours before you meet them. If I was going to a presentation tomorrow in the real world and I'm going to go in and try to do a sales pitch, the deal's done tonight. It's already done. It's already been done. It's placing a deposit in the universal bank account. When you understand this esoteric information, your life changes. And it's not a game. It's not an intellectual exercise. You got to assimilate it, manifest it, internalize it. Closing deals is like going to the fridge and getting a glass of milk for me. It's so simple. The average person thinks closing a deal is like one of the toughest things in the world that you can do. but it becomes habitual when you're really good at it. It's just like throwing a basketball in the hoop. You kind of suck at it the first time, but after a while, you can just sit there, boom, 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 get 20, 30 in a row. Might miss one or two along the way. But here you don't miss too much. You can have everything and anything you want out of life with limit or compromise. And the most powerful people in the world know this information. They use this information. And then the rest of the world kind of just goes through life like sheep. They have no idea they don't even know this stuff exists. And it's unbelievable. So Trace, thanks for that. I hope that was a little bit detailed.
No, that was awesome, Val. We want to offer as much value as possible, and that's what it's all about. And of course, the added bonus here with the databases, you're at liberty to use these any way you please. You could take them individually, you could sell them, you can put some money in your pocket, use them, whatever the case that you feel obligated that you want to do. They're here for you. So that's it in the back office. I think that
let me just talk about that for a second. That MLM database right there. If I was watching this presentation, I'll tell you how I think, because I make, I'm good at making money. I'm not looking at how much money do I have to pay. No, I'm looking at, okay, if I buy into this, what am I getting, and how can I get what's in the back office and take that and run with it and make a lot of money with it to my advantage. I have really smart people on the internet that came into the business. They could care less about what I teach. That's okay. I don't care. They wanted this page right there. That database is worth $2,200. Some lead brokers sell it for $1,250. You get that in your package at $147. You've got the Wake Up Now database there. There's over 100,000 people that were in Wake Up Now. You've got Empower Network, which was one of the biggest phenomenons out there a few years ago. Company owners crashed and burned. Personally, they made too much money, and whatever, at least one of them did, and blew their minds out. Bottom line is, you got the database there, and that database alone was $1,250. You've got 75,000 other marketers and 25,000 other marketers. You could literally take that and do whatever you want with it. You could take that whole database that would sell for $1,250 or $2,200 or $800. You could sit there and find 10 people on the internet that would give you $50 for all of that. What's 10 times 50? $500. You could sell it for $25, all of that. Say $25 and sell it to 10 people. There's $250. It pays your way into the business. There's one guy I know, he sells that database for $500. And he's probably sold it 60, 70 times. So multiply $500 times 60 or 70, he's put about $30,000 in his pocket. Selling that database, and it only cost him $147 to get it. Why? Because he thinks. Most people don't think. They just kind of look, oh, okay, is that what I get? Yeah, okay, is that what I get? Yeah, okay. When I look at something, I sit there and say, wow, I want that. Wow, I want that. Wow, I'm going to take that component. I'm going to make a ton of money off it. I look at it like an automobile. How much do I get for the fender? How much do I get for the spoiler? How much do I get for the doors? Because I do that. I'll buy a car, I'll buy a Porsche. And if somebody's selling a Porsche for $2,000 or $3,000 because it had some damage to it, no problem. I'll turn it into $6,000, $7,000 just in parts. It's unbelievable. When you understand how to play the game and you don't just sit there and say, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. When you actually think and strategize, you can make so much money, it makes your head spin. Unbelievable stuff. Well, thanks, Trace, for that. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for taking us through that tour. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think we're good, Val. I think that was a great session.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation.
Awesome. Thank you. So for those of you that really don't have time to waste, you realize that you don't want to sit on the internet for the next 8 months and not make any money. For those of you that just realize that most of the stuff out there it doesn't work. Duplication. You ever heard that word, duplication? The only thing ever duplicated successfully in the history of marketing is failure. Anyone that tells you otherwise doesn't know anything about marketing. Duplication is a joke. You want to make money? Delegate. Don't duplicate. I delegate. That's how I went from the basement to the penthouse. It's all done through delegation. It's building a power from the power of the mastermind. Napoleon Hill said, build from the power of the mastermind. The first step to success is putting your mastermind team together. I don't want anyone to duplicate anything. Duplication is absolutely absurd. It just doesn't work. All right. So this is the Bruce Lee Academy of building a business. For $147, go out there and buy another academy that some of those experts in the magazines that you saw in the magazine covers, some of them sell academies for $25,000. And their stuff can't even begin to compete with what we do here. And ours is only $147. I kid you not. And the cool thing is I close the deals for you. You just learn how to invite people to the party, and I'll teach you how to do that. And there's going to be some people that say, I want what this guy has. And then there's going to be people that will come to this call and say, no, I'm not interested. That's okay. They're really not interested. And that's fine. I respect that. But they shouldn't ever expect to really make any money for a while online until they're ready. Then they'll want to learn this stuff, because it's not about me. It's not that I'm any better than anyone else. It's just that I teach you stuff that actually works. I teach you stuff that actually brings money into your bank account. I teach you things that you don't have to spend money in all these systems. I teach you how to become phenomenal. I teach you how to become you. You are the instrumental machine that's going to make it happen. I'm on this call right now, and I don't have my upline here. I'm on this call right now. I don't have a company owner here. I'm on this call right now. I didn't bring a blog. I didn't bring a website. I didn't bring my upline. I didn't bring, an autoresponder. You're not subscribing to anything. I didn't tell you to opt into anything. I'm here in person live and explaining, and there's nothing better than that, okay? And if we make this party become bigger and bigger and bigger, look out. You're going to make a lot of money. Not because I said so. It's just, that's just the way it works. It's just the way it works. It's nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And you'll discover that when you become a Jedi Master of the universe, when you come in here. And if you don't believe me, ask the Blakester. Okay, guys, listen. Well, I'm going to let you go tonight. Get back to whoever put you on this call for real. If you're invited here and you're a guest here, and you really do have aspirations of kicking major butt on the internet, or just at least breaking even in business opportunities and getting out of a 9-to-5 job so you can have $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month coming in, if that's something that's attractive to you. That's not attractive to me. I'm into it for I like making over $100,000 a month and then some. I'm not into 5, but a lot of people, if you're into $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, that's great. That's cool. We can show you how to do that too. All right. So make sure you connect with whoever put you on this call if you're interested in not wasting time on the internet and actually making money. You'll love this. And if you're not interested in making money on the internet, you just like hanging out on Facebook because you're bored or you have nothing better to do, that's cool too. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But let's make money. I'd rather make money. I love making money sitting on Facebook. And we got some people right now making $300, $400 a day sitting on Facebook, staring at people's, just staring at people. Hey man, oh yeah, there you are. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Oh yeah, there you are. It's fun when you can actually make money staring at people on Facebook. Okay, guys, love you all in spirit. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and I really appreciate you taking the time to get on this call. Look forward to working with you personally. Those of you that are ready and willing to step forward, it'll be awesome.